Back to our channel. We are in our cardiac physiology, CVS physiology. So today we are in 32nd chapter from Guyton. It is the origin and conduction of cardiac impulse. So first we need to understand, as usual, some of the important terms from our textbook, and later we'll get into the concept. So first let us see what is AV block. So in the name you can understand AV block. We know we have SA node, AV node, right? And also we have our Purkinje fibers. If you see diagram we can understand. So here you can see this is a sinus node, SA node, and here we have our AV node, and these are the Purkinje fibers. So like this our electrical system of our heart is arranged. So you can see first what is AV block. The failure of cardiac impulse to pass normally from atria to ventricles by AV node or bundle system. So you can understand AV block is nothing but the AV node is blocked, so that the impulses which are coming from atria are not able to go into the ventricle. And next coming to chronotropy. Chronotropy is related to the heart rate. We already discussed in electrophysiology of a heart. So this is the factors that slow down the heart rate are called negatively chronotropic, or while those factors which increase the heart rate are called positive chronotropic. Chronotropic mainly related to heart rate. So which increase them, they are positive chronotropic, which decrease them, these are negative chronotropic. And next coming to dromotropy. Dromotropy is related to the conduction of cardiac impulse, so mainly related with the conduction. So the factors that slow down the conduction of cardiac impulse of course are called negative dromotropic, and which increase the conduction are called positive dromotropic, same like chronotropic. Now let us see what is Stokes-Adams syndrome, very important one. There is sudden transient episodes of fainting. So the person here faints because which is caused by reduction in cardiac output. That is due to mainly cardiac systole problem. So here the heart block resulting in lack of blood flow to the brain. You can understand whenever the blood flow to the brain is deficient or decreased, it leads to fainting. So here the sudden fainting is seen in a Stokes-Adams syndrome. We'll see this also in detail what happens in that syndrome. And next, what is ventricular escape? It is an intense vagal stimulation resulting in AV block. So intense vagus stimulation. Vagus, it is a parasympathetic type of nerve. So it P for peace, parasympathetic. It actually decreases the stimulus, but if it is intense, you can understand it can completely block our AV node. So this is being compensated for self-generated electrical discharge, which is initiated by the ventricles of the heart. So you can understand when the AV node is blocked, then it should be compensated, because heart should not stop, as it may cause decreased blood supply to every organ, and it may lead to shock. So it is self-generated compensation by our heart itself, that is electrical discharge initiated by the ventricles of the heart. So now ventricles start their stimulus and they start pumping. So this is a compensation mechanism. This is called as ventricular escape. So now let us see each of the process in detail. Yeah, of course, last point in our important term is Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. So this is an abnormal atrioventricular transmission, that is from atria to ventricle, of cardiac impulse through an aberrant or abnormal pathway that does not have impulse slowing property of AV node. So normally in AV node our impulse stops for like 0.01. We'll see all those things. 0.03 seconds. You can see in AV node the impulse stops for 0.03 seconds. Why it stops is it gives a time for atria to fill the ventricle, so that the blood can enter the ventricle, and now it can pump effectively. So if this process doesn't explain, you can understand it is an abnormal pathway in the Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. So if it is an abnormal pathway, the blood can't enter the ventricle, blood can't fill the ventricle. So if the blood is not there, you can understand it leads to fibrillations or tachycardia. So all this we'll see. So let us start our pathway. So first, heartbeat approximately 1 lakh times each day. Oh, do you know this? 1 lakh times per 1 day. And you can estimate like about 3 billion times in an average human life. For one human, 3 billion times the heart beats. So the cardiac muscle mainly transmits. So how this beating process all takes place? It's like same like our electrical process in our house, which transports the current. In the same way, our heart is also having current, and it is transported by wires. So you can remember like wires, like things are the fibers, SA node, AV node, Purkinje fibers. So let us see this conduction, how it takes place in our heart. So the cardiac muscle transmits the electrical activity mainly by low impedance intercalated disc. Intercalated disc are nothing but our gap junctions which are present in our heart. Electrical impulses transmit by this gap junction, so that if one card, it acts as a syncytium, because if one muscle, that is one cardiac muscle cell gets activated, then because of gap junction it passes to the other and it also contacts. So this is acting like a syncytium. They are contacting as a single unit. So this generates a rhythmical electrical impulse to initiate the rhythmical contraction of heart muscle, and next conducts the impulses rapidly by the heart. So this is all taking place in a conduction system of heart. First, the rhythmical electrical impulses are generated and initiating the rhythmical contraction of the heart muscle, and also conducting these impulses rapidly by the heart, and enable the atria to contract about 1 by 6th of second ahead of ventricular contraction. Of course, atria should contract ahead, because if it contacts ahead, then it can fill up the ventricle. If ventricle is only filled, then only it can undergo the process of contraction. So always remember, atria should contract 1 by 6 second ahead of ventricular contraction, which allows the filling of ventricles before they pump blood by uh, lungs and also peripheral circulation, you can understand. Because from lungs and peripheral circulation, uh, what which allow the filling of ventricles before they pump blood by lungs and also peripheral circulation. By lungs only, from right atria it enters into right ventricle. mm, yeah, by lungs, so not right to left atria, left ventricle, and it need to pump the blood back to lungs and also to the peripheral circulation. So then only if the ventricle fills, only it can pump it to the peripheral circulation, also to the lungs. So this allow all portion of ventricles to contract simultaneously, which is essential for the most effective pressure generation in ventricular chambers. Yeah, ventricle should contact simultaneously, then only you can understand lot amount of cardiac output can be produced. So now let us see what is SA node, what is going on in SA node. So SA node is also called as pacemaker. Why? Because it can itself produce its own action potentials, excitability, so that it can easily pass the currents. Why this takes place in SA node is because its RMP is like about only -60. So it is continuously forming the action potentials. So sinoatrial node connect directly to the atrial muscle fibers, so that any action potential which begins in an SA node also spreads immediately to the atrial muscle wall. Yes, SA node where it is situated. So you can see this is SA node where it is situated in the almost like in a our right atrium. So you can see whenever the SA node is activated, even the atrium gets activated, because they're closely approximated with each other, right? So that's what this means. And next, the cardiac fibers have the capability of self excitation, is nothing but our SA node. So this causes the automatic rhythmical discharge and also contraction. So this SA node also controls the rate of entire heartbeats. Yes. So first the action potential is formed in a SA node, and next from the SA node it transfers to the atrial muscle, and from the atrial muscle to AV node, and from AV node, because of gap junctions and oh no, in AV node the gap junctions are very low. We'll discuss about everything in detail next. So next from AV node it will pass to Purkinje fibers. So this is how the impulses, the current is passed in our heart. So in SA node, it is like about 0.3 millimeter per second the velocity, and in atrial muscles it's 1 meter per second, and in atrial muscle, the left atrium by anterior interatrial branch, and also uh, anterior, middle, posterior, internodal pathways are also present. So here the velocity is like about 0.09 plus 0.04, and this is equal to 0.13 seconds delay total delay in AV bundles, and along with plus 0.03, this gives total 0.16 second before reaching the ventricle. So you can remember this, in AV node there is 0.16 second total delay of our current which is coming from the SA node. Why we know? Because the SA node, the blood which is coming from the atria need to fill the ventricle before the ventricle contracts. So in AV node there is a delay of about like 0.16 second. And also there is delay because there are low gap junctions. You can understand when there are low gap junctions, the current can't pass more efficiently as in SA node or Purkinje fibers. Even SA node is also called as slow conducting fibers. You can see it's like 0.3 only. So SA node and AV node are mainly the slow conducting fibers. And next comes the Purkinje fibers, which are having larger gap junctions, and the cells are also having very large diameters. So these are the fastest conducting fibers in our heart, which transmit the action potential at the velocity you can see 1.5 to about 4 milliseconds. So you can see it's like here only 0.3, only 1, but here the speed is increasing, velocity is increasing in a Purkinje fibers. So this is the 6 times of the usual ventricular muscle and its length, and also it's 150 times that in a sum of AV nodal fibers. So it is very faster when compared with our SA node and AV node. And next comes the Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. So this is an abnormal pathway as we discussed. What is that abnormal pathway called? That is nothing but called as bundle of Kent. So this bundle of Kent is also like in AV nodal position, like between the atria and ventricles. Here there is no delay. As there is no delay, there is faster transmission, and there is mostly asymptomatic. This person is asymptomatic, but they have abnormal fast rhythms in the atria will be conducted to the ventricles, and additional pathway is destroyed by the radio frequency catheter ablation. So actually this is an abnormal pathway, you can understand. Here there is no delay. Because of no delay, the ventricle can't get filled properly, and the transmission is very fast of this action potential, and this process continues very fast. So this additional pathway is mainly destroyed by radio frequency catheter. We can use a catheter. With the help of catheter ablation, we can easily destroy this pathway. So that is like a treatment or management of this patient. So mainly this patient is asymptomatic. The only symptom we can see is they have the fast rhythms in the heart. So next, one-way conduction by AV bundle. Yeah, AV bundle is only like one-way conduction. You can understand from, you can see only one-way conduction from SA node, that is from atria to the ventricle. That's it. The this impulses may not come from the ventricle back into the atria. It's not impossible. It's impossible because it's only one-way conduction. Only the current coming from SA node travels to AV node, from the AV node to the Purkinje. Only one-way conduction. So you can see only forward conduction, that is from atria to ventricle, and if reverse then it is abnormal. So the distal portion of AV bundle pass downward in the ventricular septum for about 5 to 15 millimeters towards the apex of the heart, and the bundle divides into left and right branches, and only within 0.03 seconds they enter the ends or base of the heart. And the transmission from the endocardial to epicardial surface require only 0.03 seconds. So the total transmission from the AV bundle to the end of Purkinje fibers is like about 0.03, that is before this, to reach the epicardial surface, plus 0.03 from what AV bundles to end of Purkinje fibers. So total it takes about 0.06 seconds. So when AV node is not stimulated, then the discharge intrinsic rhythmical rate of like about 40 to 60 times per minute, and the Purkinje fibers discharge between 15 and 40 times per minute. So these are different from normal rate of SA node, like of 70 to 80 times per minute. So the new impulses which are coming from the SA node can discharge both AV and Purkinje fibers before self-excitation can occur in the either of the sides. So the SA node is always the pacemaker of the heart. And now here coming to ectopic pacemaker. So normal pacemaker is SA node. So other than SA node, all the pacemakers which are formed, which are known as ectopic pacemakers. These are nothing but the abnormal pacemakers. So when AV or Purkinje fibers are abnormal, they may become pacemakers, and they cause abnormal sequence of contraction of different parts of the heart and can cause debility of heart pumping. So when AV block occurs, the atria continue to form the impulses at normal rhythm of SA node, and the new pacemaker is formed in Purkinje fibers at 15 and 40 beats per minute. And after the AV block for 5 to 20 seconds, the ventricle stop beating and the person faints due to the lack of blood to the brain. So this delayed pickup of uh, heartbeat is called Stokes-Adams syndrome. So if delay is too long, then it may also lead to death, because you can understand once the blood supply to brain is gone, next to all vital organs also it may lose, and finally to death of the patient. So now let us see how parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system act upon our this conduction system. So parasympathetic system is supplied mainly to SA node and AV node, but sympathetic is only supplied to almost like all parts of the heart. So it's like a strong ventricular contraction is seen due to sympathetic system, and parasympathetic less to atria, and it is more decreased to ventricles. And parasympathetic is negative dromotropic, that is only 15 to 40 beats per minute are formed, and this is called ventricular escape. Sympathetic means increase the rhythm and conduction, and it's positive chronotropic, positive dromotropic, positive inotropic, positive bathymotropic. So you can see sympathetic is all positive because it's like activating everything. It's chronotropic means increasing the heart rate, dromotropic means increasing the conduction, and positive inotropic, positive bathymotropic increasing the excitability. So it's like overall increasing the heart rate, that is our sympathetic. Parasympathetic is like peaceful situation, so it is decreasing the conduction. So this is how we discuss about this very simple chapter. So here we'll check out the diagrams to understand the process clearly. So this is SA node, internodal pathways, yeah, and this is a AV node, this is a AV bundle, left bundle branch, right bundle branch. So you can see how it is formed, and here you can see the transitional fibers and internodal pathways. You can see this is a middle internodal, this is a posterior internodal, this is anterior internodal. So these are the different internodal pathways which are present within the SA node, and next it reaches the AV node, and you can see here 0.1 to 0.03, and this is AV fibrous tissue penetrating the portion of AV bundle, distal portion of AV bundle, left bundle branch, right bundle branch. You can see 0.16 here. So this is a ventricular septum, and this you can see different currents. Values are given over here. For example, if you think if we start this process at SA node at 0.00, then at 0.03 it may reach at the AV, yeah, the AV bundle, and at 0.05 it may reach to this still it's in our SA node. It may reach to our anterior internodal pathway, and at 0.07 it reaches to our atria, you can see, and finally at the speed you can see actually starting this condition, and it is come to 0.17, 0.18. So you can see there's increase in speed because of Purkinje fibers, whereas at AV it is slow. So you can see all the values over here, how it is spread to different. So you can see only 0.02020, 0.21, only within one fraction second you can see it has reached up to like almost the ventricles. So this is fast conduction done by Purkinje. AV and SA would have slower conduction. So that's it. This is all about our simple chapter of Guyton, origin and conduction of cardiac impulse, chapter 32.